Let's continue our discussion about different models. And now we've got interactive model and its significance for teaching reading skill. So interactive model is actually the blend of top-down and bottom-up approaches. In other words, it's a blend of data-driven model, process model. It's a blend of concept-driven model. So rather it takes into account different insights, different strong insights taken coming from bottom up and top-down approaches towards the theory of teaching reading. So it takes into account the strong points emerging from bottom up and top-down models. So, and within this model, it tries to avoid the criticism leveled against each model. So it just takes things which are good from top down, which are good from bottom up approaches. So it's largely seen in the field of second language acquisition and English language teaching. It's seen as most promising approach to the teaching to the theory of reading in this contemporary world. I mean, it's seen as appealing because it not only lays emphasis on good points coming from bottom up, but also the good points from top down, coming from top down approach. So an interactive model actually lays emphasis on interaction of bottom up and top down processes simultaneously throughout the reading process, which means that both approaches are fine, that the student within the bottom up, they need to recognize sounds and words and their meanings, and within the top down, they need to look at the sentences and paragraphs and then proceed to the whole. So this is how these two things are taken side by side. They are not seen exclusive, rather they are seen coexisting and like taking place simultaneously. So there are some key researchers who are in favor of interactive model, and they have, as you can see here, Rumil Hart and Bar Sado and Blackovics, and then we've got Ruddle and Speaker 1985. They are these are the key researchers who have advocated the use of interactive model as compared to bottom up and top down approaches exclusively, right? So this model suggests that the readers can construct the meaning of texts by selective use of information from levels of language. By levels of language, I mean their phonological competence, their morphological competence, their semantic, pragmatic, and lexical competence. So, and the texts are seen as a source of input, comprehensible input, which is understandable, and meaning are considered to be a source of output. So reader provide input through interaction with the text because they are seen as active, who are actively involved in the text, who are engaged with the text, and they make the meaning of the text. So reading is seen not only as cognitive process, like what goes on in the minds of the readers, but also the readers are seen as skilled beings. So they must be able to make use of levels of language, for example, phonological, morphological, semantic, pragmatic, in order to read the text, accomplish the task. So interactive model, which is a blend of both bottom-up and top-down approaches, is greatly seen as effective model in order to develop students proficiency in second language reading.